Hello and welcome to a student subject presentation on A-Level Product Design at Norton Bachelor School. My name is Matt and I'm a Year 13 student. I joined the school in 2015 as a Year 7 and have always had a passion for product design from as soon as I can remember. I'm currently looking into apprenticeships into going into design in the aerospace industry.
Hi, I'm Bobby, I'm currently Year 12 and I've been at school since Year 7. One thing that has always pushed me to DT is making a project and seeing the end result. As for Year 12, we've currently studied two mini projects, one being based on two key A-level designers and the other being an eco-friendly company which we made a scale model of. We've also developed our Year 11 practical skills and also theory skills by using the different workshops and computer rooms available. One thing that's pushed me to pick A-level as a DT as A-level is the NEA option at the end.
So bringing up more on the NEA, it's basically the project that is 50% of your coursework, and it basically entitles you to design anything you want along the lines of following a specific criteria. So you almost have sort of like a finishing line you kind of have to reach by a certain deadline, which is normally about a year's time from when you start it. And it basically involves several sort of criteria sections that you'll be assessed on, and it gives you the freedom to just sort of almost kind of just research things that you never even thought of designing before, and obviously if they're not right you can eliminate them. I'd say it's a big step up from the GCSE NEA in terms of there's a lot more to cover within it, there's a lot more marks, and it definitely involves a lot more time outside of lessons. You'd have to be determined to put the work in outside of hours to make sure you meet the deadline. But however, it's definitely one of the most enjoyable parts of the course by far. It gives you the independence to just sort of assess your ability in terms of starting from scratch with an idea and just taking it all the way up. Like Bobby said, it's nice to see it sort of progress upwards to the end goal when you start to manufacture it. One thing that the department is really good for is sort of supportiveness, whether that be with your theory or your practical. There's always someone in the department you can come and talk to, and they will basically just sit down and talk through what you need to go through, whether it be something with your theory for your exam, or whether you've come across sort of like a hurdle in the road as such with your NEA, and they'll basically just sit down and work with you until you come to a solution, and then you can sort of apply that and carry on as you were. I found probably theory the most difficult part for me so far, and I'd say the best thing to do is to just constantly do practice questions and basically just keep reading up now and then on the textbook for the content of the exam. So that's something you'll go through in class, specifically at the start of Year 13. You'll start to pick up on theory more from Year 12, and basically just get into the habit of answering the exam questions correctly and just seeing how you can gain maximum marks in the exam. But back to the NEA, it's definitely one of the most enjoyable parts, and I highly recommend it to anyone who has an interest in design.
Yeah, so as Matt was saying about NEA, it's a big factor, it's 50% of the final grade. DT is such a unique subject compared to the others because you're in multiple rooms every lesson. You're not always in one stuck room listening to the teacher or making notes on the board. It's also hands-on, so you can go to workshops and make basically what you want if it's to the criteria. That's why I think you should pick DT.
Thank you very much for listening to our subject presentation video on product design A-Level.